when would you like to get married?
Yeah, and I was like, what?
All I remember about the date is that I was super sick.
Are we pathetic or is it weird?
We have to get married first.
It wasn't like that.
Hi guys, I'm Tommy.
And I'm Peter. Welcome back to our channel.
We recently celebrated our 5-year anniversary since we got married. So we thought we would film a video and tell you guys all about our experience here.
Yeah, totally. But you said it like we celebrated. We actually didn't. Our celebration consisted of remembering the date because it popped up in our computer calendar.
And we were like, oh yeah, 5 years ago, that's
Yeah.
nice. After 5 years, I'm not sure I will even remember all the details, but let's try.
What? We totally will. Come on.
So first of all, we should tell you that we don't have same-sex marriage in our country legally. So we are not actually married technically. We have something that's called civil union or registered partnership. So we are not really husbands, but we are partners, I guess. But we call each other husband to make it easier for others in other countries.
Yeah, we consider it a marriage because it's the highest level you can achieve here.
Yeah, so in this civil union we have a lot of rights, which you wouldn't have otherwise. The rights are very similar to marriage, but not everything is the same. For example, we are not allowed to adopt children. But other than that, I'm not sure. There are not that many differences. It's called differently, which we don't care about, and we are not planning to adopt. So for us personally, it's not a limitation. So let's start with the proposal. We didn't really propose to each other, right? We were talking about this civil union for a long time. When it was our 7-year anniversary since we started dating, I surprised Peter. It's hard to explain.
Let me. I woke up and I came to the living room and there was Tommy at the computer and he had some websites open, and on these websites it was all about this registered partnership, right? That's
No.
what I remember.
You remember it wrong.
Oh,
It was a form which you need to fill in to apply for the registered partnership. So it was a PDF file. It was not a website.
okay, sorry, a PDF file.
Yeah, so he came to the computer as every morning when he wakes up. That's the first thing he does after peeing. And he saw the form.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my god, what's this?
Oh,
honey?
a PDF form.
So romantic, right? And Tommy told me that we should start with this, right? And yeah, that's how it all started. Because it all came naturally. It wasn't like in the movies that someone proposes and the other person is surprised and is deciding like,
Should I? Should
yeah,
I?
yeah, like, what is that? You should know, right?
Yeah.
So it's not like it's a surprise, because we always knew that there is a future for us together forever. So it came naturally.
So at that point we decided that we are gonna go for it, but we didn't really start doing anything about it for a long time, right?
No, we did. I changed my Facebook status to engage because it was exciting. Like, we knew nothing is going to change with us, but I just put it there, and then I realized that it means something because people started to send me congratulations. I didn't expect that. I just changed it for fun, but then everyone was like, yeah, that's great, congratulations, and like a lot of comments. And that's when I realized that it's actually something quite important.
And that's when it hit you.
That's when it hit me. Yeah. Totally.
It was like your most popular post on Facebook ever. We should try it again sometime.
Okay.
Yeah, I was never really a big supporter of marriage, and especially weddings. I always considered it a waste of money to get to throw a big party.
Mm-hmm.
And even the marriage, for me, it doesn't mean much. Sorry, honey. Because nothing changes. I mean, for me, it's important that we are together and we live together. We own things together. And just by signing this paper, nothing changes for me.
Yeah, that's true, because as we keep saying, nothing changed, but we wanted things to be official, like all the papers, we have a condo together and all these things. When the partner is sick, for example, in hospital, you want to have your rights, or I don't know how to say it. But
So, yeah, I did it for this legal recognition.
yeah, legal recognition. It wasn't for the romantic side of things.
Yeah, because signing a paper is not really romantic for me.
Mm-hmm.
So then a few months went by and we didn't really do much about it.
Like, we started thinking if we should have a party or some kind of celebration. But for us, it would be really stressful because we are big introverts and we don't really like parties and stuff like that. So I was like, it's expected that you do something. So I was doing a research on the internet, like what we could do. We knew we didn't want a party, but there was an option maybe to have something like a small celebration in the forest or
like
in nature, like a small ceremony or something. But that's weather dependent and complications. So we decided we won't have anything. I just wanted one thing, and that's wedding rings. If you haven't seen it, go check out our other video where Tommy lost his wedding ring. So I wanted to have at least a symbol that we are officially married. So the wedding rings.
I wanted nothing.
Such a romantic soul.
Especially not a ceremony, because I don't like being center of attention. So I would hate walking down the aisle or whatever and everybody looking at me. And paying for it, paying for my suffering.
Yeah, it's weird that people pay so much money for one day. For us, it seemed like waste of money. Because we had quite a lot of expenses with our condo. It was quite new at that time.
Oh yeah, it was like we moved in 1 year before. I would rather go on vacation for that money. That's
what we said. So just the wedding rings, and I started looking on the internet, and I found this local jeweler, a woman in Brno, and I liked her work. So we decided we are going to have the rings custom made for us. We went to see her. She showed us like a lot of different rings, and one particular got our attention. Do you remember? No. Okay. It was
diamonds.
No, that would have gotten my attention too, but no diamonds. But it was this small, simple ring with little leaves, like they were engraved into the ring. Nature.
I remember that.
Yeah, nature thing. And we were like, wow, this is so pretty. But we didn't want to copy it. So then we went home, and we somehow decided that we would have leaves there, but some other type. Here are the pictures. Okay, so that, and the material is actually not gold. Everyone has gold, but I always want to have something different.
There were some extra.
Yeah, so we found that there is this precious metal called palladium. It's similar to platinum, I think. So the rings are made of it. So then it was summer, and we went to this jeweler again because she needed to measure our fingers.
Mm-hmm.
So we went there. It was a bit of a mistake because it was very hot on that day, and our fingers were a bit swollen. So the measurements weren't that exact, yeah, a bit off.
Yeah, the ring was too big, at least for me,
Mm-hmm.
so you could take it off quite easily. It didn't fall off.
Yeah,
But-
that's not the reason why Tommy lost it. But yes, mine is a bit big too.
Yeah. When we look at other people's fingers, usually the ring is like almost inside the meat, maybe because they got fat since they got married. But ours was always like moving back and forth a little bit.
Mhm. Yeah, I can take it off quite
Yeah,
easily. But
ring problems.
yeah, we were really happy, or at least I was, when I saw the rings. They were pretty,
Something to cherish
something to cherish.
until forever or until you lose it.
Oh my god. So, continue, honey.
So yeah, 20 minutes later you know how we got our rings. See you guys next time. Bye!
Anyway, so that was at the end of, what was it? Summer, at the beginning of September, and it was the last thing we waited for.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we just waited for the rings, and then we were like, okay,
We can go for it.
we can go for it.
But we didn't have any date set. At the
Mhm.
time, we were not really in a hurry until Peter's former classmate came to visit us here in Brno, and she announced to us that she's getting married, and she invited us to her wedding. And Peter was like, "Oh no, now we have to beat her and be faster than her. We have to get married first."
It wasn't like that, but I just wanted to get it over with. Mm-hmm. So, and
Sure.
it was.
That's exactly how I remember it too.
Let's carry on. And I remember we visited your grandparents, and we announced it, or it was known at that time already.
Yeah, we told them, but at the time we already told them a date.
Mm-hmm.
Because we suddenly started speeding things up for some unknown reason.
No, we didn't. No, we didn't.
Okay, so
So
Scratch
it
that.
was. I think it was dependent on my work schedule.
yeah,
So-
because there's actually one difference with between a registered partnership and marriage or wedding. That when you get married as a straight person, you get a day off. But for registered partnership, I don't think you get a day off.
Yeah, such a discrimination.
So we decided to go there during our work,
Yeah.
during lunch break, during my lunch break when Peter was off work.
Yeah, because we could have had a ceremony and everything, like it didn't have to be at the office,
Mhm.
but we didn't have that, so we just looked up the opening hours, or how is it called?
No, because okay, so let's go back as you wanted. We went to visit my mom, and my grandparents were there as well.
Mhm.
And at that time, we decided like, yeah, we're gonna go there on Tuesday. So we
Mhm.
told them that this date is when we're gonna go there.
Yeah, on Tuesday next week,
Yeah,
or
for
something.
example. Yeah, and then we came back home, and like a couple of days before that, we checked that, oh my god, they're not even open on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Because the official opening hours for public are just Monday and Wednesday.
Yes.
So we have to choose one of those two. So we went for Monday
Mm-hmm.
because we wanted to get it over with.
Yeah. In the meantime, we got a card in the post from your grandparents.
Yeah.
Congratulations to your wedding, and the date was Tuesday.
Yeah.
But we actually went for it on Monday.
Yeah.
So Tommy was working like regular business, and then during lunch break we hopped on a tram.
Yeah, very fancy.
And we rode to the city center where the office was.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, so we had an appointment for a specific time. So we went to the civil registration office where you are supposed to sign the documents and everything. And they presented us with some forms that we had to fill in. And then they were like, okay, so now when would you like to get married?
yeah, and I was like, what?
What do you mean?
What do you mean? Like today? Now? And the lady was like, no, it's not possible today. You have to set a date in advance. And we didn't expect that.
Yeah, because somehow the forms that we just filled in had to be processed first. And they had to do a background check that we don't already have another civil union or marriage and stuff like that.
Yeah. We thought that we would just go there and sign the papers. And
One civil union, please.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bye.
Totally. So it wasn't like that. And I remember there wasn't even a chair for the two of us. Like there was only one chair. So Tommy sat down and
No.
I sat down and you.
I was standing there.
Yeah. It was so pathetic and so weird. Then I asked, what's the earliest date possible?
Yeah.
And she said,
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
So in 2 days.
In 2 days.
So at that point, some people knew we were getting married on Tuesday. Some people were told at work that it's Monday, and at the end it was Wednesday.
Yeah. So we returned home on Monday, and
I continued working.
So we continued working. Then Wednesday came, and well,
And we got married.
we called the tram again.
Yeah.
It was completely empty.
No, it was the Monday thing.
It was Monday?
Yeah.
And on Wednesday it wasn't?
I don't remember. When we went on Wednesday again, we were over the whole thing.
Oh yeah.
So on Monday we dressed up, fancy a little bit, and on Wednesday when we went again, we were just whatever.
Yeah, and it was funny. It was funny because on Monday we were taking pictures before in front of the office.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, this is our date and everything, and it didn't happen.
And on Wednesday it was like, oh, Johan.
Yeah. On Wednesday there were 2 chairs.
Ooh.
So everything was prepared. So we came into the office and
Yeah, there were the papers waiting for us to be signed.
and well,
So we both sat down, and the lady just went through the papers with us, and there was like this official sentence, like it wasn't like, do you marry this guy, but something like, do you agree?
so we said, yes, I agree. And then we signed it, and that was it.
Yeah.
She congratulated us, and we were officially registered.
Yeah.
So we were officially married.
Yeah, the difference between marriage and civil union is, for example, that when you are getting married, you need 2 witnesses. I think you call it best man and maid of honor, and they have to legally sign the papers as well. We just call them witnesses.
Yeah.
And for registered partnership, you don't need that, so it was just the 2 of us. And the lady who was like overseeing everything.
Yeah. And we didn't exchange our rings there.
Yeah, because again, that's not a requirement. Or I guess it's not a requirement for marriage either, but people do that during the ceremony.
Yeah. So after that, we went into a park, a romantic, nice park below a castle.
Yeah, because we are outdoorsy guys.
Yeah, outdoorsy guys. So we went there and we exchanged our rings there.
Yeah.
and it was romantic. I put it onto Tommy's finger and he was mine.
Forever. No way getting out of here now.
Yeah. But now he doesn't have
But
it.
now there's no proof, so...
And we took some pictures alone. Like, are we pathetic or is it weird? Like, we didn't want anyone to see us, or I don't know.
The pictures were not even that great.
Yeah,
There was all on a timer.
tripod and timer. now that I listen to us, it doesn't sound that great. But you see, it isn't important to us. It was just something that we legally wanted.
Yeah.
And the date inside of the rings, there is a date, and it's not the date of this civil union ceremony. We wouldn't get it right anyway, because we didn't know the date, like for 1 day in advance. But there is a date when we started dating.
That's more important for us. That's what we celebrate.
Yeah. So we got married how many years after we started dating?
7. And once we finished taking pictures in the park, we went to celebrate in grand style to our favorite vegetarian restaurant.
Oh yeah? And that's my favorite part, because I love
Food!
food. Yeah, I love to eat. So we got some delicacies and some cakes.
Yeah,
I don't know what.
it was great.
It was grand.
The best part of getting married.
In the end, we prepared this small get-together
Oh yeah?
with my friends and with my sister, but we had to keep it really small because we wanted to have it here in our flat, and it's really small, like only 6 people could fit in.
Yeah, so Peter invited 6 people and I invited 0.
I have more friends than Tommy. Yay!
Yeah, more than 0.
Okay, so we ordered a cake, wedding cake.
A healthy cake.
Yeah, it was a healthy cake. We found this girl on the internet
It
that
wasn't very good.
yeah, she was just starting out, so not that great, but it looked nice.
Yeah.
There was a heart and P plus P, and yeah, it was romantic.
And some desserts as well.
Some other sweets, healthy.
All I remember about the day is that I was super sick.
Yeah. Oh my god.
I got a cold. It was just a cold, but exactly on that date, during that party, it was the worst. And I had to blow my nose like every 2 minutes. And I kept leaving because I didn't want to spoil the party, so I didn't even tell anybody that I was feeling under the weather. So I kept like leaving and going to the bedroom or bathroom to blow my nose all the time. And Peter didn't even notice because he was like half drunk.
What?
I remember that he was in a very good mood. So he was like with his friends, and I was even sitting a little bit farther.
Like further from us?
The green one, the green ball.
Yeah.
Here.
Oh. Then I wanted to take a picture of all of us together, and it's so terrible. We are on the side. My sister and her then boyfriend are in the middle, so it's not a great wedding picture.
And I'm completely on the side, so my face is distorted
Yeah.
by the camera.
Yeah. What about our parents, you ask? So we didn't invite them because there wasn't enough space in the flat for that many people. But they knew about everything, they congratulated us, and I think they came a few weeks later or something, just for a normal visit.
My father didn't even know that Peter exists. at
Oh
the
yeah,
time.
yeah, we will come to that. We will film a video about that in the future, about Tommy's coming out and his dad.
Yeah.
And everything. So
And my mom knew in advance, but she didn't really care much, because even when she got married to my dad, they did something similar. They had to have 2 witnesses and a driver, so there were 5 people at their wedding, and they also just had the official ceremony, what's required by law, and that was it. And they didn't tell their parents that they are getting married, they only told them afterwards.
So it runs in Tommy's family. So he
It's
just
genetic.
continued the tradition.
Yeah, someone has to keep the tradition alive, right?
Okay, but your mom came for a visit later, and my parents came for a visit.
But even though we had this funny experience, we can still do it again, because at some point there will be same-sex marriage in our country.
But well, when there is this official marriage, second level for us, we will do something better, I think.
So once the bill passes, we can get married again and do it all over.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that. Who gets more than one chance? Like a lot of people. Never mind, that wasn't that smart. But it's better for us because it's like with the same person
Yeah.
more times.
And you can then finally change your last name to mine.
Yeah, good point, the names. We could have changed ours even with this civil union. We were thinking about it for 1 second or so, but we decided we want to keep our names. So do you have something to add?
No, I don't.
You don't? Okay, so it looks like that was it. If you have any questions, don't be afraid to ask. You don't have to be afraid on our videos.
We don't
Just
bite.
Comment. Yeah, and we will respond. Mainly Tommy. You know, Tommy is the main person that responds to comments.
That's why Peter offers,
Yeah,
because he doesn't have to do anything.
but we read every comment together, and then I just tell him what he should reply.
Yeah, I'm Peter's secretary.
Because, no, it's not like secretary, but I'm always afraid that my English is terrible and I would make mistakes. There is always this anxiety. Okay, so comment, like this video if you liked it, and subscribe to our channel if you are not subscribed yet, because it's important to be subscribed.
So you don't miss our future videos.
And see you guys next time.
Bye!
Bye!